He wanted to take the principles of the Declaration of Independence that his own father, John Adams, had helped bring to life, and he wanted to make those principles apply to all Americans, regardless of the color of their skin.
These are the exact same principles that my little brother Red explained earlier. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Now, slaves, they had no liberty, and so pursuing happiness was one of the many things that was not possible for them. And John Quincy Adams gave his life to change that and make America a more perfect union.
When he first got to Congress in 1831, it was a very pro-slavery Congress, and he was like a man against the world. He became known as the hellhound of slavery. He was so good at pointing out the evils in slavery that Congress tried to use a gag rule to keep him from even talking about slavery. But he outsmarted the pro-slavery guys over and over and found ways to argue for the freedom for all Americans.
But even though John Quincy Adams was such an amazing debater, his fight against slavery, that just seemed to be going nowhere. He had been fighting in Congress for 13 years with no victories. Okay, 13 years of fighting and no wins? That's insane! I mean, that's how long I've been alive. But yet John Quincy Adams, well, he just continues to give his life for others, fighting in Congress against slavery, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, without getting any results, but yet he just keeps coming back.
After giving 13 years of his life, a reporter came to him and said, "Why are you doing this? You're wasting your time. You're wasting my time, Congress's time, the nation's time, and you're getting nowhere."
Well, Adams, he responded with a statement that all of us should think about using when we're fighting for causes we believe in. He said, "Duty is ours. Results are God's."
Amen.
Duty is ours. Results are God's. He said, "I'm doing my duty. I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm living my passion. And the results are in God's hands. So I can work hard all day long and then lay my head on the pillow at night in peace, knowing that God is in charge."
Well, did John Quincy Adams ever see an end to slavery in his lifetime? No. He fought for another 4 years, 17 years total, with no victories. And then he actually died in the U.S. Capitol building in the middle of a debate on the House floor.
He literally gave his one life for the freedom of others and never got to see them set free. You might think John Quincy Adams failed. Some might say he wasted his life. But what most people don't know is that for the last 2 years of his fight against slavery, there was a freshman member of the House.
Yeah, he was kind of like the new kid on the block. And John Quincy Adams, well, he took a particular interest in this young man. He invested time into him. He mentored him. In fact, they became so close that this young man was actually a pallbearer at John Quincy Adams' funeral.
That young man went home and didn't get reelected to Congress. He ran for another office and lost. Another race and lost. He kept losing, losing, and losing. Then more than a decade later, that young man finally won another election. He was elected President of the United States.
And that young man, Abraham Lincoln, he then implemented the same 3-step plan that Adams gave 17 years of his life to lay the groundwork for.
Sometimes we give our lives to plant the seeds that someone else will then come along and water. We may not always see the fruit of our labor, but if we are willing to follow our purpose and our passion, giving our one life in service to others, we can fulfill that purpose and live that passion.
Our prayer is that each of you will adopt the philosophy of John Quincy Adams and always remember that duty is ours, results are God's.
Welcome back our dad, Rick Wood.